Hey bub, don't forget to subscribe to the channel.
Welcome back to the X-Centric Collector channel. I'm Talent the X-Centric Collector, and today we are going to be covering some new X-Men Marvel Legends reveals. Since San Diego Comic-Con just wrapped up, I figured I'd take a minute to recap some of the figures that they announced, not just during San Diego Comic-Con, but some of the figures that they announced back in May that I actually didn't have a minute to cover, so I figured I'd cover them here. First up, they announced the third X-Men 97 wave. And man, I am super stoked for this wave. I know a lot of people were hoping that they'd see a Beast. We can never have enough Beasts in my opinion. So I'm hoping maybe there will be a fourth wave with Beast in it. But this wave still had some pretty awesome figures. Starting off with Emma Frost, the White Queen. And this is a fantastic White Queen action figure. She would be a nice figure to stand in, even if you're just doing comic book displays. This White Queen will fit in any display if you're asking me. She looks great. She comes with two alternate hands and an alternate head. The paint apps on this thing look great. It's pinless. Very excited to add this figure into my collection. Next up is Sunspot and his New Mutants look. And I'm very excited for this one, not just because we have a representation of him now in the X-Men 97 look, but that body can be used for other male New Mutants characters like Cypher and Cannonball, which I'm actually already planning on doing. I'm actively going through in my head right now which Marvel Legends action figure heads can I use to represent those characters. So I did pre-order a bunch of these so that I can do the male New Mutants figures. So I'm very excited for that one. This figure comes with two additional hands and some fire effects. If you're asking me, they really should have included an extra head with the fire effect going, like his powers are activated. Yeah, it's a missed opportunity in my opinion, but who knows, maybe we'll see the full fire effect version of him down the road. And of course the next figure in the wave is Jubilee with the black outfit. And I love this figure. It's gonna go great with the X-Men 97 wave, but I'm also getting an extra one of her because Jubilee is a figure that they don't really produce that much of, and it's always good to have an extra Jubilee, even in that outfit. I think this is a great addition as well, and they did this really cool new effect for her fireworks that are actually attached to these additional hands she comes with. And she comes with a little drink cup. And not just the firework hands, but she also has two additional hands on top of that. So this is a great addition. Like I said, I'm getting multiples of this because can't ever have enough Jubilees in my opinion. And next up is another Wolverine. Of course, we're gonna have another Wolverine. You gotta have a Wolverine in every X-Men wave there is. He's the most popular X-Men character, so it makes sense. And they're actually doing the street clothes Wolverine look with that brown bomber jacket with the stuff he's got going on up here and the jeans. Unfortunately, they just used the bottom half of the cowboy Wolverine that we got not that long ago in the Wolverine 2-packs. So he's still got pins in the legs. Not great, but this is a look that Wolverine has had in the cartoons since way back in the 90s. So this is another fine addition. Probably only gonna get one of those, but he looks great. And for the next figure, we have Morph. Man, this one is really cool. I figured they would just take the VHS box set Morph that we got and give him the head from the Age of Apocalypse Morph. But no, they actually went all out, did a whole new sculpt, and he's very like slender looking, and the jacket is different with the multiple pockets on the jacket, and the, you know, just the whole look is very X-Men 97. And he as well comes with two additional hands, and he comes with three heads. He comes with the normal human looking Morph head, Very X-Men 97 animated series look. It's not so much like the other VHS morph. It's similar, but it follows the art style of 97. So that's absolutely awesome. And the morph white-faced head, that thing looks exactly like the 97 cartoon as well. So very happy about that. But the really cool thing for me is the Henry Peter Gyrick head that he comes with. Because it's so simple to take that head, put it on a suited body, and now you have a whole nother figure. You've got Gyrick, which is perfect because I was already looking into what Marvel Legend heads might suit Gyrick. And it, you know, just a couple months ago, I was like, you know, that Peter Parker head where he's wearing glasses, that looks like that might work. But now that they've done this, I don't need to get that extra head. I will have this one coming with my morph, and I already know what body I'm putting it on. I'm putting it on my Professor Xavier from the hover chair pack with the green suit, because that's what he looked like in X-Men 97. I think he was wearing the green suit, so that's what I'm gonna do. Very excited for this one. And on to the next figure, we have Cable. Yes, this Cable looks smooth. He's very cartoony. I know a lot of people are like, pass. But you know what? If I'm gonna be doing a complete 97 collection, you gotta have this Cable because the colors are different than this version of Cable that we got back in the Sasquatch Build-A-Figure wave, I believe. That is a fantastic Cable. Still holds up to this day. He's in my Sentinel display. I will not be replacing that Cable with this one. However, it's always nice to have another Cable. He's pinless. He comes with, finally, they included this huge gun. And that's what you need for a Cable. The last Cable we got, which was like the Capcom look, the blue and yellow suit, he came with this puny gun. It's like, what is he gonna do with these puny guns? This is Cable. We need a massive gun. And they included that massive gun. He's got power, like shooting blast effects that can go in, plug into the guns, and he comes with multiple hands as well. Yeah, this Cable looks fantastic. Like I said, definitely getting at least one. And that does it for the X-Men 97 wave. It's 6 figures in total. Obviously, it's a 97 wave, so no BAFs, no Build-A-Figure, which is fine. No problem. They didn't do a Build-A-Figure for the other 2 X-Men 97 waves. The card backs are the same, so they're gonna look great on the wall if you keep them in package. You know me, one to rock, one to stock. So I'm gonna have the whole X-Men 97 wave on the wall looking beautiful, and then also have my display with them in there. This went up for pre-order on the 26th. So they're already up for pre-order. From most of the sites I've seen, it looks like White Queen has sold out, Morph has sold out, and on certain sites, Sunspot has sold out. But I have a feeling this is gonna be one of those situations where they're gonna end up restocking. So just keep checking Hasbro Pulse, Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, and then you'll eventually be able to get it. I'm sure you could probably also get it at Toy Snowman in Canada. So just keep your eyes peeled if you're interested in this wave. I'm sure they'll be made available again. If not, just be patient. They did do reissues for Wolverine, Gambit, and Rogue, which I was able to acquire. I know I was bitching and moaning. I made the mistake of not getting Wolverine when it first came out, or any of those 3, and the prices were through the roof. But they reissued all of them and I was able to get them, so very excited about that. Well, that does it for the single release X-Men 97 wave, but they also have more X-Men 97 characters coming out in 2-packs. So the first 2-pack, we have Gambit and Rogue in their, I don't know, athletic attire. When the one episode where they were playing basketball, it's Gambit and Rogue from that scene. So Gambit's wearing his shorts and no shirt. He's got a bandana on and he has a basketball. It's friggin' hilarious. This is great. And then Rogue with still the unitard, and then she's got the crop top going. It looks good. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. I wanna get it just so I have it if I do decide to do some sort of like leisure X-Men scene where they're just hanging around the mansion. This could be good for that. It'll be nice to have them in the collection that I can draw on, but right now off the top of my head, I have no idea what I'm gonna do with them, but they do look good. Not to mention, it's always nice having new head sculpts that you could swap around with other figures if you want to, and you can never get enough Rogue in my opinion. And who knows, maybe it'd be clever to have that Gambit head on another Gambit body, like he's not gonna wear his sock or something. But yeah, this one, not super stoked for, but at the same time, like I said, it might come in handy down the road. And next up, we have Storm and Wolverine and their older costumes. You know, towards the end of the show, they all swap back to their old costumes. And so we have the giant size X-Men look for Storm, and we have the brown suit Wolverine. And I am very excited for this set. Storm comes with those new lightning effects, and I was really hoping we would get a Storm with those lightning effects after seeing them from Electro, or the female Electra. So yes, this is fantastic. Wolverine's fangs, just a look on this figure. Fantastic set. Totally looking forward to getting that one as well. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's a Wolverine text, but is it? Because I don't have that brown suit Wolverine that they released in the Secret Wars wave. To me, he looked a little too orangey. I don't know how to explain it. This one looks better to me. So I'm happy to get this 2-pack. I don't consider it a Wolverine text at all. Very excited. And next up, we have a Cyclops and Jean Grey 2-pack. Very similar to the Wolverine and Storm 2-pack in the sense that when they reverted back to their old outfits in that later episode, this is the looks that they donned. And if I'm being honest, I could have done without that Jean. We already have a House and Powers Jean that looks like that, but this one looks far superior, so I'll take it. But that Cyclops, I've been needing this particular look of Cyclops for quite some time, so very happy to get that. And next they revealed, unfortunately, another Target exclusive. Why is it unfortunate? Well, if you were paying any attention to the debacle that happened recently with the Thanos and Psylocke 2-pack, and we'll get to that, but people were freaking out like they're not going to be able to get access to it because it went up for pre-order, sold out immediately, and not everyone has Targets around them easily accessible, and sometimes the Targets that are around them don't get certain things, and if they do, the moment they get them, they're gone and they miss out. And that's unfortunate, but that happened with the Professor Xavier in the Savage Land outfit, and then we see now it's on clearance. And I have a feeling the Storm is going to end up being like that, so I wouldn't sweat it. It does suck that it's an exclusive, that you can't just pre-order it and have it locked in guaranteed, but you'll make do. And if you're really patient, I have a feeling you could probably get it on clearance. And for the next announcement, now this one is super exciting. All of us Marvel Legends collectors have been waiting for this for so long. They announced Feral. We can finally complete our 1990s X-Force team with this Feral, and she looks fantastic. I am very excited for this figure. Been wanting it for a super long time. So they did not announce what wave she's going to come in. I have a theory, and I will tell you that with the next announcement. But regardless of what wave she's in, definitely getting Feral. Absolutely. To complete a team after this long, it feels so good. So very happy to see that. And for their next announcement, they finally are doing a Rachel Summers in her Hound outfit so that we can complete Excalibur. Finally! People have been wanting this figure for a really long time. Me, not so much. It wasn't until we got the Excalibur 3-pack that I figured, you know what? I really like this team and I would love it if they could complete it. And there have been rumors going around for a while that they were considering doing this figure, and here it is. Now, this is what I was thinking about the Feral. They did not show a mini comic with that Feral, but they did show a mini comic with this Rachel Summers. So, I can tell you right now for a fact, Rachel Summers Phoenix is going to be in another comic book wave. Feral maybe as well. If it is for a fact, I don't know because they didn't show a mini comic, so maybe she isn't. Maybe she's in a different wave. At least for Rachel Summers, we know it's not going to be part of a Builder figure wave. So if she comes out in this wave and there's a bunch of other figures that you don't want, and you're like solo X-Men collector like me, then, you know, it's good news for you because it means you don't got to get a wave just to get a Builder figure, with a bunch of figures that you don't want. So I'm fine with that. I am going to be very happy to add her to the shelf with the rest of Excalibur, and I can finally do something with them. I've had them sitting in my Krakoa display for a while because I didn't know what to do with an incomplete team, so they've just kind of been off to the side. But now that I'm going to have a complete team, I think it's time to add them to a display with some action and some enemies. So that's very exciting. Next up, they revealed World War II Wolverine. And I gotta say, when I first saw it, I'm like, well, this looks cool, but this might be one that I can skip. It's another Wolverine, and he almost looks like G.I. Joe. I'm like, do I need this? Well, I don't need it, but I have been trying to develop a display where I can use a bunch of my Wolverines, and I think I finally have an idea, and this one would go fantastic in that display. So, I am going to be picking up at least one of these. I don't know if this is a one to rock, one to stock kind of thing. We'll see what wave he comes in. I mean, if he's part of a Build-A-Figure wave, then absolutely. But if he isn't, and it's a one-off, I might be able to just get one and call it a day. And that does it for the San Diego Comic-Con X-Men Marvel Legends reveals. I did not cover the reveals they did back in May. I figured I would wait until San Diego Comic-Con came around and we got a bunch of reveals to do them all at once right now. So you guys probably have already heard about these, but they decided, going based on the popularity of the Capcom versus Marvel figures that they released, like Marrow and Cable, that they would just go all out and actually give us figures solely designed looking like those Marvel versus Capcom. And they're doing Gamerverse 2-packs. And not just 2-packs, some deluxe singles. So I'm gonna briefly cover these. First up is Wolverine versus the Silver Samurai. And these figures look great. I don't know what kind of displays am I gonna do with these. Do I need to maybe start buying up some Jada Street Fighter figures and have a display where I'm doing Marvel vs. Capcom, or just use these and incorporate them in my regular Marvel displays? I don't know yet. I just think they look amazing, so I'm getting most of them. The Wolverine Silver Samurai, definitely pre-ordered that. And next they announced a War Machine versus Omega Red. Now I was tempted because that Omega Red is an update, slightly. It's not all updated, some of it is reuse. However, him coming with War Machine, I absolutely don't need it. I already have 2 Omega Reds, so I'm passing on this one. Maybe one day someone will be selling that Omega Red and I will update it and then sell one of my old ones. But I don't need any more Omega Red, and I definitely don't need a War Machine. So I'm skipping this one. It looks awesome, and I'm happy for everybody out there that is excited about this one. You shouldn't have any problem getting it. As far as I know, it's still available for pre-order. And then they also announced Captain America and Venom, the blue looking Venom, just like the game. And this is another one I can easily skip. Get to save a little bit of money, thank God. Because they look fantastic, they really do. They look amazing, but this is just a set of figures I don't need as a pretty much sole X-Men collector. And I say pretty much because something's about to drop here in a second and you're gonna be like, but Talent, that's not X-Men. See, this is the thing. In the Marvel Universe, the villains tend to be a little bit all over the place. So you can put Dr. Doom in an X-Men display and it'll make perfect sense. But, you know, I mean, you technically could put anyone in, if they're Marvel Universe, in the displays and it'll make sense. However, I have my own rules in my head that I stick to. And this next one, Shumagorath, or as they call him now, Gargantos, is this amazing bendy wire tentacle, eyeball monster looking demon that I have to have. First of all, I love the way he looks. Second of all, he has interacted with X-Men characters, and I am currently developing a sort of magic display. And when I say magic, I mean it. She's heavy in this display. It's like all about her. And I don't want to spoil too much because I really want to reveal it on the channel. But having Shumagorath in this display is going to be awesome. And he just looks cool. The eyeball can move around and you can like open and close the suit. He has some really expressive looks. It's amazing how expressive you can get this thing to be just based on how the eye is opened or closed and what way he's looking, or if his tentacles are crossed like they did in this promotional picture. It looks great. This was a no-brainer for me. I'm like, I have to get that one. Unfortunately, I believe it's pretty much sold out everywhere. I don't know if this will be another one that they're gonna just reissue and do more of, but as far as I can tell, if you didn't get it, and it didn't sell out immediately, I think it was like a couple weeks before it sold out, but sold out now. I got one coming, very excited for it. And for the next one, Juggernaut. Man, I love Juggernaut. I love Juggernaut so much. I get every Juggernaut I can. When I got back into collecting, that Kitty Pride that brought me back to collecting was a Juggernaut Build-A-Figure wave, but there were some figures in that line that were just too hard to find, and I was really upset. I'm like, I'm not gonna get a new updated Juggernaut. But then they did the Colossus Juggernaut 2-pack, and that Juggernaut was far superior in my opinion. But this one is bigger than that one. He looks phenomenal. I am super stoked to get my hands on this Juggernaut. I think I'm gonna have a display with him as the centerpiece fighting a small group of X-Men. So very excited for Juggernaut, and that is all the ones that have not started shipping yet. The other one was the Target exclusive Psylocke versus Thanos. And man, if you're part of any of the Marvel Legends toy groups on Facebook, then you witnessed this chaos for a couple of weeks of people freaking out because it sold out immediately. And then when the street date hit, people were going to Target bright and early in the morning and being told that they didn't have it. Or if they did, it was in the back, but they're not gonna look because they're redoing their toy shelves in the next couple of days. I heard that at several Targets as well. So I was patient, I waited a couple days. So I went back the following Tuesday after the release date, walked down the toy aisle, lo and behold, there it was. I've got my 2-pack right here, and man, this thing is awesome. This is the best Psylocke they have ever done. Absolutely, bar none. I can't wait to do a toy review for a Toy Tuesday with this Psylocke. That'll be coming soon. I got a couple of them, one for me and one for my buddy who is in San Diego, working San Diego Comic-Con. I made him a deal. I said, I will hunt these down and I will get you one, but you gotta get me one of those Savage Land 3-packs, which he did. And we're gonna be meeting up real soon to do an exchange, and I'm gonna do an episode on trading. So far we've done selling, where I sold my HasLab. If you haven't seen that video, definitely check that out. You get to see this 12-year-old be surprised by the HasLab that his dad bought him, and this time you'll be able to see a trade. Of course, it's not an even trade. I'm gonna give him this plus 30 bucks because this was 60 and the Savage Land 3-pack was 90, so it's a $30 difference. Best of luck to everybody trying to get your Savage Land 3-pack. I know they said the pre-order for the Savage Land 3-pack is gonna go up on August 1st. I am super excited. 2025 has been a fantastic year for X-Men Marvel Legends in my opinion. We got the Nemesis Build-A-Figure wave, the Uncanny X-Force Archangel, and the 2-pack with Warpath and X-23, and now all these Gamerverse figures, and then the X-Men 97 third wave. We're finally gonna be able to complete 90s X-Force and our Excalibur teams. I think this has been a banner year for X-Men Marvel Legends. What did you guys think about the reveals? Are you gonna be getting any of them? All of them? Are you getting any of the Gamerverse things? Let me know in the comments. I'm very interested in knowing what my viewers are actually collecting. Are you like me? Do you only collect certain things? Or are you one of these completionists and you're like, I gotta get all of them? Let me know. Well, that does it for this one. As always, I'm Talon the Eccentric Collector reminding you, keep collecting, keep watching for new reveals. And until next time, Excelsior!